This is just Paul. This is just Paul. We're all just Paul. To every season. Turn, turn, turn. Tonight! This season, this year, we embrace the need for change. Or have a mid-pandemic breakdown, whatever you want to call it. Because this stopped being punk rock when it started being soccer mom from Indiana who thought she was being edgy when she cut herself some crooked micro bangs. I did such a bad job with the micro bangs this time. Too bad we can't do anything about that tonight. But what we can do is give ourselves a fresh new makeover and possibly go back to our roots. Because when I asked you if I should do another round of platinum blonde or go back to a more natural look, as natural as I can look, it was actually pretty unanimous, and tonight we're gonna be little Just Paul again. I tried to be introspective in thinking how I felt about everyone wanting to ditch the blonde. It felt kind of awesome. I was actually really happy. You know, there's a certain reason why I kept my blonde hair for so long and a reason why I dyed it blonde in the first place, and I will be telling you that a little bit later. But when I imagine myself, how I look in kind of my forever home, in my career that I feel very satisfied in, if that's, hey, if that's ever a thing, I imagine myself with brunette hair. My natural hair. But we're not going completely brunette. We're going to do a little bit of a variation that I've actually never had on my head before. Yes, there is a color style that I have never had on my head before. I think it's beautiful, I think it's classy, and it is an ombre. And you're all gonna be like, Jessica, wow, copping out, gonna only do like half brunette and the rest blonde. Listen, when all the autumn queens out there were letting their winter roots grow in to only fade into a gorgeous, soft, professional balayage, I was super jelly. Not that you're going to get the professional part in this equation. Like everything that I do on this channel, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I thought we'd have a little video watching session of watching other random girls trying to figure out how to balayage their hair at home with the cheapest permanent color that is on my grocery store shelves. I went for the $4 color, didn't I? I did, yeah. 100% gray coverage, I mean. You know, I was actually going for my exact color because when I would describe my hair, the term was medium brown. It couldn't get browner. And I thought that medium brown would be perfect. And now that I look at it, there's going to be so many surprises by the end of this video for all of us. But let's do a little YouTube search and see what all the other girls are doing. At home balayage. DIY balayage. That's exactly what we're looking for, Ashley Brooke. Did you ever notice that Feria box, like, it doesn't even look good on the box? Like, I know what a balayage is supposed to look like, but what were they thinking? Okay, she's going too blonde. Okay, everybody's adding highlights to their hair. That's not, no. Not today, Brad Mondo.
What's up, everybody? It's Jasmine, and today I am going to do a DIY balayage.
Oh, okay. She brought straight up bleach from the box. I really do hope this is as bad as it seems like it will be. I do have to say, I love that this is a genre on YouTube. It's not even a tutorial that we are doing. It's just a presentation of experiment. It's like watching science evolve right before your eyes.
It looks like piss.
You didn't even style it, girl. You didn't even try. So I'm seeing a lot of videos on here that are actually going from brunette to blonde balayage, kind of adding in the blonde. I don't really see many that are going from mostly blonde to let's put a little winter in there. So now that I know that I'm going to be a pioneer with this hairstyle on YouTube, I guess we'll talk about my master plan. This was my thought, and maybe I'll get it right. Maybe I'll be so far from right that it is a hilarious video. We mix as directed, but we're going to only kind of apply maybe to here. Then, since I've heard of something called a wet balayage, I'm assuming that this dye process just involves some kind of water. I'm thinking that I'm going to fill this brush with water, and then I will start to drag the diluted hair dye down the rest of my hair shaft. But not before we actually want to see the label. We make sure to protect the hair that we do want to stay blonde. all the promises, all the expectations. I hope I can get this out. Does this come out with shampoo? Did I ever do this before? Did I ever put petroleum jelly in my hair? Alright, now that I have my blonde portion of the balayage prepped, let's get into the dye. So I think that my best plan of action is to go in at least 2 layers. God knows I've been in movies where I've dyed my hair and I didn't quite get the backs. That's captured on film forever. If you watch my movies, then I guess you'll spot them. It's a fun game to play. So why blonde, you ask? It's a question that has been posed to the ages. So if you guys watched my video, why I wore wigs in college, that is the precedent to this story. When I graduated from college and started acting, I went back to brunette. In fact, my hair was very short. It was about a full year after I chopped all of my hair off and started growing it back piece by piece. And then 2014, I did this little movie called Brewhouse, which coincidentally just came out on DVD. Yes, DVD. So you can go out there on Amazon and you can buy it right now if you want to. I produced this movie. I was in it. I have, to this day, what I like to say, just mixed feelings. It was the first film that I ever have done. If you're starting your Jess Paul DVD collection, I guess this would be number 1. There are a lot of things that I like about this movie and I'm proud of and that are useful to me. But, have I shaken this enough? When we were casting for the film, we realized that we had 5 no-name actors that were all brunette. It's something that you don't think of all the time, but if you have characters that you don't see as often and they don't look dynamically different, sometimes it's hard to actually tell who you're looking at on screen because you don't remember. I didn't even have to go to the other girls because I basically volunteered myself. I thought it would be super fun to experience life as a blonde. Because if I'm being honest, one of my favorite parts about acting is getting to change my appearance. It's why I do have my hair blonde for the most part, because I like to put other colors over it whenever I need to. But for right now, during the quarantine, I'm not really going anywhere, and I feel like I have a while until I need to start ruining my hair with bleach again. Remember, it does develop on your hair, right? I don't remember how dark hair dye works. That looks awful. These green ass bangs. Don't even know how that happened. I'm trying to use it sparingly because I don't know how much I have. She looks like she has pretty long hair. Ugh. But to continue with the story of why I continue to keep my hair blonde. So right after Brewhouse, I think I was like 2 years into acting. I had auditioned for one of the agencies like way in the beginning but didn't get it. So I went in for an audition, big cattle call, and I had the blue from Brewhouse, like the color part of the whole kind of identity of my character still in my hair. My agent thought that that was a really great idea, that now he has an alternative chick. So whenever a commercial or a TV show or an emo club extra is needed to have somebody that's slightly edgy, I was his go-to girl. I mean, maybe my eyebrows scare small children sometimes, but really getting nervous that I'm not gonna have enough dye. What is that color? What is that color? I didn't account for this part not working. I thought it would definitely at least dye my hair dark, and now I'm second guessing that. Should I keep putting this on? Oh, why did I buy the $4 stuff? This is heavy, but I feel like it's not as much as it could be, as it needs to be, really. Even for a balayage, we're not even doing my whole head. What is that? What is that? I have a feeling this might end up uneven. Who knew? And, you know, when we DIY our hair at home, it's pretty much just a guessing game in the back. Make sure you squashed every single hair against your soaked scalp. I definitely see where my roots are, because my hair is so light otherwise. This is a decision I made. I think it's gonna be dope. Ooh. Well, that's really getting away from me. Okay. You guys tell me. Did I get a good amount of the side? I'll know later. So this is my simple idea. I feel like it's no-brainer. Dipping my brush in a little bit of water. And I'm going to start to bring it down, right? Wet balayage. What else would be wet about a balayage? Back to the story. When I came here to LA and I started actively looking for agents, pretty much as soon as I got here. Actually, before I got here, I sent out about like 20 letters to agents, and then I learned that you definitely don't do that. You do not send agents mail like that. After a while, I started emailing agents, and I had been sending these emails for a while actually. After I hadn't heard back from agents so many times, I started labeling the header with different things that might typecast me to try to be interesting or valuable to an agency. Alternative LGBTQ actress looking for an agent. And I got a response from one. The agent that I have now was kind of interested in the entire idea of me being, again, the alternative kid. I don't know how I'm the only one that's alternative in town. And so I used that typecasting again to kind of get a foot in the door. Oh, you guys, I think that's a wrap. So after the dye had developed, I had shampooed it all out, started drying it. I started to notice how little coverage there was on my hair. I'm not really sure what to do about this. I'm going to show you, but I am very aware that something drastic has to be done. Okay, so it looks even worse in the viewfinder actually than it does in real life. I did successfully blend my hair from dark to light. Like, it's not a color. It's not even it's not even colors. It's just like this gray, non-existent. All the random girls on YouTube have so much problem with brassiness, and I would love some of that golden hue to just shake this up. The next part of this video was supposed to be a haircut, and I think I'm still gonna do that because whatever's going on here, it cannot be worsened. But that does sound like a challenge that I'm posing to myself. If you want to know what hairstyle has been popping up on my Insta feed that I've been adoring and saving, that's right, it's the shag. So, oh my god. Back in the day, before the first time, I bleached the hell out of my hair to the point where I had to chop it all off. I used to dye my hair dark and also cut it in a way that gave me a lot of volume on top while keeping the length down here. And we all called that scene hair, but technically, it is a form of the shag. Since I've definitely cut my hair like that before, I feel like I don't even need to look it up. Then again, see, it looks kind of promising when it's wet. No, it doesn't. So I'm literally gonna go at it exactly the same way I always used to. The big difference is, by the way, between the hairstyles is I really love the curls that I was seeing in some of these pictures. That's the way my hair naturally is, and I'd love to see this scene kid hair, you know, super vintage. When I think of this curly shag, I think 70s vintage baseball tee. It's adorable. My god. In case you were wondering, this is what we just took off. That's a lot of weight. I think I'm going to doll myself up. Try to style this so that it looks presentable to other human people. And we'll finally see how this all went. Hey. So after hours of cutting, styling, making up, this is our look. Let's talk about the things that did work. This is technically a balayage. My roots are almost completely blended into the rest of my hair, and my ends are freshly trimmed, and my hair has not felt healthier in a very long time. That said, I totally see how this is a look. I totally see how this is even a vintage look, but I'm not sure if this is completely me. I feel like if it was darker and warmer at the top, I'd be more open to it. Despite that, I think that I'm going to be keeping it for a while. The real goal that I had in the beginning of this was trying to kind of retain a style for a longer time than me, just pulling the color out of my roots every month. And I did that. Maybe we can add our fun colors back in because, to be honest, there is a little bit of room for that kind of thing. But I guess that just means that you'll have to subscribe. Tune in next week and see what I do to this hairstyle that's muddying up your vision right now. And down in those comments, do not mince words. Tell me how you really feel. Acting and filmmaking. For our social seance this week, let's mosey on over to my Instagram. I posted some selfies from last year in front of my mom's beautiful ball wreath and basically was trying to send a message. Mothership with you says, thank you for sharing. What I was trying to say is that this year I will not be traveling at all for holidays. It actually was a plan of mine for as long as I was living in California to always come home for the holidays. I love my family, I love my friends. The winter season is the time that, for the most part, Hollywood kind of shuts down. Definitely is right now. And it would have been a great time generally to see my family, except for the fact that there is a very serious and very undermined problem that's going on right now. I want to take a moment just to urge for one last time. If you are traveling this holiday season, consider not. We're less than a week away from a day that's supposed to mean family. But what's family if by this time next year, some of them aren't going to be at the table? I hope that at least my audience, if I can reach anyone, those few people who watch every single week, if you stayed till this point in the video, which are probably very few of you at this point, I want you to hear the message. Be safe, and that doesn't just mean stand far away from people. Do everything that you can to try to survive this year. If we don't take enough action right now, this will just continue to drag out for the entire world for months or years to come. And Imagine FX Production says, love your spirit as always. Thank you guys. In other news, I will be speaking at IndiePods Unite. I'm going to try to get our next week's video up on time, but I'll keep you updated. You can always look on my social media if you're wondering where I've gone off to, if I've truly perished from this world that we're living in right now. If you guys are interested, I was possibly thinking of live streaming me making Thanksgiving dinner, just so that if there's anybody out there who can't see their families, I'd love to be with you for a little while. I love you all, and I hope that you are getting along just as good as you possibly can in these times. Let's see that slow-mo slideshow.